When you're watching a world-class football match, all your focus is on the players, right? The skill, the drama. But right under their feet is this absolute masterpiece of science and engineering. Today, we're going to peel back the turf and look at what it really takes to create the perfect pitch. A surface that's built for incredible performance, but more importantly, for player safety.
So, how do they pull this off? Well, here's our game plan. We'll kick off with FIFA's mission for a totally uniform playing field. Then we'll break down the actual science of what makes a pitch safe. We'll look at a hybrid system called POWERGRASS to see how it performs under pressure, tackle the huge challenge of heat, and see how it all leads to a smarter, way simpler method for maintaining the pitch of the future.
So let's start with the big why. Think about the World Cup. You've got teams playing in stadiums all across the globe. For that competition to be truly fair, every single pitch has to play and feel exactly the same. That mission, that quest for uniformity and safety, is what's driving all this amazing innovation.
And here's the bottom line. The game has to be the same, whether you're playing in chilly Michigan or in the blistering heat of Tennessee. The ball needs to bounce the same, the surface has to have the same feel, and this is the most important part, the risk of injury has to be consistently, predictably low. That's the real challenge.
Okay, but you can't manage what you don't measure, right? So how do you actually put a number on a perfect pitch? Well, it all comes down to three key metrics that scientists and groundskeepers are absolutely obsessed with. First up, we've got surface hardness, or Gmax. This basically measures how well the ground absorbs shock. Think about it like this. What's the difference between falling on concrete versus falling on a soft gym mat? The mat absorbs the impact. It has a lower Gmax, and that's exactly what a good pitch has to do for the players. Next is rotational resistance. This is all about grip. The traction between a player's boot and the turf. If you have too little, players slip and slide. But here's the thing. Too much grip is actually way more dangerous. If a player plants their foot to cut and their boot gets stuck, all that force goes right into their knee. That is a textbook way to get a nasty ACL injury. And finally, we have ball bounce. This one might sound simple, but it's so important for the flow of the game. For players to be able to trust the surface and anticipate where the ball's going, that bounce has to be consistent and predictable every single time. It's totally fundamental.
Now look at these numbers. These aren't just suggestions, folks. These are the non-negotiable targets. For hardness, you have to be between 70 and 85 Gmax. For bounce, it's between 60 and 100 centimeters. And for that crucial grip, you're aiming for 35 to 65 Newton meters. Hitting these precise windows is the absolute baseline for a safe, high-performance pitch.
All right, so with those standards locked in, let's look at a real-world test case. FIFA actually commissioned a big study to test a bunch of hybrid turf systems, including one called POWERGRASS. The question was simple. Can these modern systems actually deliver on the numbers?
And the results for surface hardness were, well, pretty amazing. Just look at how close those numbers are. 71 Gmax in cool Michigan and 68 Gmax in hot, humid Tennessee. That tiny difference shows an incredible level of consistency. It proves the engineering works predictably, no matter what the local weather is doing.
Now, this consistency isn't an accident. It's engineered right in. The POWERGRASS system is built on this special three-dimensional grid. It has these resilient synthetic fibers that are literally welded to the backing, creating this incredibly stable foundation where the natural grass roots can just lock in and get a firm anchor. But here's the really genius part. The system starts at around 71 Gmax. That's on the softer end of FIFA's ideal range. This gives it a built-in safety buffer of 14 Gmax before it even gets close to the upper limit of 85. See, fields naturally get harder as they're played on. This buffer means it can handle way more games before it needs any kind of major work. And that buffer is a huge deal for maintenance. It means you don't need to do as much deep aeration with machines like a vertidrain, which are used to punch holes and relieve compaction. And that's not just about saving money. That process can be really damaging to the grass roots if you have to do it too often, like more than every 3 weeks. A softer starting point just means a healthier, more sustainable, and cheaper pitch in the long run. But, okay, while the engineered structure is super stable, we can't forget about the living part of the system, the natural grass. That's what gives the pitch its essential grip. And this is where we run into our next big challenge, because when that grass gets stressed out by heat, that grip can be compromised.
So here's the puzzle every single groundskeeper faces. Once you get above 25 degrees Celsius, or about 77 Fahrenheit, the grass starts to suffer. It's stressed. So how do you protect it without just dumping tons of water on the field and wasting a super precious resource?
The answer is actually a really clever, counterintuitive strategy. You totally shift your goal from promoting growth to ensuring pure survival. You use soil probes to give it just enough water so the roots don't dry out, and then, during the hottest part of the day, you do these very light, quick sprays of water, not to soak the soil, but just for evaporative cooling, to protect the crown of the plant. And to make this strategy work even better, there's a secret weapon mixed right into the sand of the root zone. It's a volcanic mineral called zeolite. Think of zeolite as millions of tiny, smart sponges. It reduces the free water just sitting between the sand grains, which helps keep the root zone cooler. But at the same time, it grabs onto water and nutrients and holds them right there for the roots, releasing them back to the plant whenever it needs them. It's this incredible buffer against heat stress, and it saves a ton of water. So when you combine that stable structure with a really smart substrate, the whole philosophy of how you maintain a pitch, it completely changes. You can finally stop putting out fires and start preventing them from ever starting. And this is the key. It's a total shift from a reactive to a proactive mindset. I mean, traditionally, groundskeepers spend hours and hours fixing divots after a game, but in a hybrid system like this, the turf is anchored so well that divots are basically a thing of the past. So instead of just repairing damage, the job becomes about proactively keeping the grass healthy. Suddenly, the maintenance checklist gets way, way simpler. The goal is just to keep that natural grass healthy. You manage the moisture and heat in the root zone, and you keep the organic matter in this really tight window between 1.5 and 3%. If you can maintain those parameters, you guarantee player safety, and the whole system becomes incredibly easy and cost-effective to manage. So, when you put all of these pieces together, you've got the biomechanics, the structural engineering, the soil science. What does it all tell us about the pitch of the future? I think the big takeaway is this. The perfect pitch isn't a product you just buy and roll out like a carpet. It's a living ecosystem. It's the result of a holistic approach where brilliant engineering gives you a safe, stable foundation, and smart, proactive management keeps the living part of it thriving. And that really leaves us with one final thought. In an age where athletes are pushed harder than ever, and resources like water are more precious than ever, is this integrated, systems-based approach the future? Are we looking at the new gold standard, not just for the World Cup, but for pretty much every professional sports field on the planet?